done this in so long. Y'all know I always gotta fix my hair in the beginning. Get me right now. Oh, what's my intro? Yay, yay. It's your girl. It's your girl. It's your girl. It's your girl. Carnessa the Poetess, back to bless you with another video. Yes. What's up, my pineapples? Hey, what would I say after that? Oh, I know. What's up, my pineapples? I miss you so much. Your girl is back and truly better than ever. I mean, mentally, physically, spiritually, better than ever. So let's get right into the video, man. So I might bounce back and forth between the car, and I might do a little bit at home, but whatever. Your girl is back. I'm better than ever. I'm mentally strong. I'm so blessed to be in the land of the living. And I'm so blessed and elated that the enemy's plan, the darkness, all those things, the enemy's plan didn't work. And your girl is here. So where we last left off, it was 6 months ago. It was January 2nd. And now we're in June. And June 2024 to be exact. The last video was January 2024. And oh man, I knew, at least I had a little faith that things were going to get better, but it's exceedingly abundantly above all I could ask or think how everything has changed and shifted. I am in the process of my healing. I am in the process of recovery, restoration, rejuvenation, reinvention, just all the things. Okay. And I'm just like amazed. Every month it gets better and better. So just to break down a little bit what just a little bit from then and bringing you to now. When I had that mental breakdown, it was just a culmination of things that I've been hoping for, things that were promised, disappointment built up, just a whole lot of built up, and just anguish and just headaches, and oh man, just bogged down with the pressure, trying to live up to what I thought I should be. It was just a whole bunch of things. It was just a gumbo of depression and toxic thinking. My mindset wasn't right. I thought I was doing all the things that I should do as a good Christian, but I still was missing a piece, an intricate piece. And just going through the motions, not fake, but going through the motions, hoping things would get better in my own power, and there was nothing that I could do. I really truly needed to lean on God. I really needed to find my secret place and really get connected back to Him, get connected to His voice. I feel like there was a time period where my discernment was off. I feel like there was a time period where I was trying to do things in my own power. I was trying to make things happen that were outside of my control. And, I would just get so down on myself. Like, if I just do this, I could, you know, be better, or I could fit in and I could be accepted. Finally, I could be accepted. Or, you know, I want to people please. I didn't have any boundaries. So yeah, you know, you want to do that, or you want to treat me this way. Okay. All right. I hope it get better. I pray it get better. But like, really just not allowing God to be in full control of my life choices, and the path that I was going down. So now I couldn't have said this 6 months ago, but now it's crazy. Now I can truly say I am so glad that things happen the way they happened. Even though it was horrible, it was a dark place, it was a depressed place, it was a lonely, all those things. I'm glad it happened the way it did, because it isolated me to just get down to who I truly needed and what I truly needed, and was that to hear the voice of God, to really reconnect with him like I never have before, and put a plan in place that would really, like, it would put me on another level as far as mentally and spiritually. It would change the game for me, because I had never been here before. It was a new place, and I was new. Even though I was going through my struggles, I was at a point, at my breaking point, to really like, okay, Lord, since I find myself here, since these circumstances have happened, out of my control some, and in my control some, I'm going to use this opportunity to use the resources you've afforded me. I'm going to isolate. I'm going to go into monk mode. I'm going to disappear, and I'm going to heal. Woo! I have never taken off from things and people and moving, distractions. I've never taken time to heal. My God. So, you know, I went into it with a strategy. Some things I didn't know in the beginning, God gave me, you know, bits and pieces along the way. But I know in the beginning, I had to break away. I only needed the influence of God, my therapist, and my family. That's it. That's all I need, because it was too much chaos. And I got to a point to where I didn't know what was real. Is this real? Or is that real? Is this a lie? Or is that a lie? Is this the truth? Or is that the truth? So my discernment was off. My gift of seeing far beyond the natural, my gift of seeing was off. And I didn't know what was clouding it. I was so confused, you know. And so I just had to put a plan in place where I could get clarity. I could silence all the noise, all the distractions, and do what I can. It was someone that I heard speaking say, do the next best thing. So since I can't quit my job and go to an island and be secluded like I really wanted to do, I started to formulate a plan that would help me along my way, along my healing journey. Strategic, very precise, something that I had never done before, so I can get something I never got before. And so I isolated myself. You know, first, of course, it started out really dark. And I think I said at one point, I'm like, you know, I just want to hide in a cave. And so a cave represents depression. It represents suicidal thoughts. It represents just pressure and you know, different entities coming against you, assignments for your purpose and your talents and your gifts. That's a cave. But then I changed it. I said, no, I'm gonna go into a cocoon. Hey, y'all, don't make me get out of here and start running down this block, okay? I said, I'm not gonna go in a cave, I'm gonna go in a cocoon. A cocoon is where caterpillars go to be in a metamorphosis into a butterfly. Woo! They get all their nutrients, they block out, and for me, it's just me and God, me connecting. So I'm gonna do what I need to do to shut down, to go in monk mode, and to really get reconnected with God in a real way like I've never had before. I'm not putting on airs. I'm not trying to impress nobody. I'm not trying to appease anyone. All I want to be influenced by is God, His word, His plan for my life, and His voice. I want to know it for myself. I want to know the truth. First, the truth about me, my inner workings. I mentioned it before, you know, really delving into why do I do the things that I do. Okay, sorry about that. I've decided to move the party on the inside of the house. I got a phone call, so anyway, I'm not sure where I left off at, but I did want to mention that I know I keep saying I've never been here before, and I just wanted to delve into that just a little bit. I'm meaning never been here before, just like I never been in a place of so much accountability for my actions, my insecurities, my low self-esteem, my low self-worth, my low value. And when I say that, I mean life hasn't just been happening to me. A lot of things I've allowed. You know, I've allowed no boundaries. I've allowed to people please, to exhaustion and mental just frustration. I've allowed certain things. I've allowed people to treat me in ways that I wouldn't want anyone else to be treated. I've allowed for, I think I was just in denial for so long that when you start practicing denial and practicing delusion and practicing seeing things but not really wanting to see things, and just I hope it gets better. God, I'll press that down. It'll get better. I'll pray on it. But you're seeing something and you're not confronting it, addressing it. Things in your life, you know, things that you have complete control over. And so I was just to a point of accountability for my own self. I didn't want to blame anybody. I didn't want to talk about nobody but me. I want to see what this healed Carnessa attracts into her life. I want to see what the right mindset attracts into my life. I want to take full accountability and responsibility for the things that I do and the choices that I make. And I've never been here before. I always want to blame somebody. In the past, it's been the blame game, you know. So I was so glad that I was at that point, at least. That was, you know, one of the upsides. And also the other thing was, I mentioned that I wanted to approach this season of healing in a completely different way. And that would mean not relying on vices. What are vices? Sex, drugs and rock and roll now. But sex is a big thing that used to just throw my whole healing journey off. That I didn't want to partake in any alcohol, just anything that would influence me in any kind of way. I wanted to feel all the feelings. I didn't want to numb anything. I didn't want to put on airs. I didn't want to act like something wasn't there and it was. I wanted to feel everything and really heal. I never have been in a place where I was ready to do that. So, you know, the first 4 weeks I was just crying, and I would have a schedule because God is so wonderful that he allowed me to do my healing in private. I was emotional, but I didn't have the breakdown in front of everybody. I was able to do the majority of my healing in private. You know, once I got to that point, I was able to do it in private. And so it was a lot of crying. Take my shower, get ready for work, put on a good face, work through the day, go home, cry. But it wasn't like, it was a healing crying. You know, it was so good. I was going through different phases. Another thing that I committed to do for 6 months was to go to therapy and have a good therapist. I mean, an intentional therapist. A therapist that gave me homework. We were processing things. A therapist that I could be completely honest with. And man, she is... It's been a game changer. I'm telling you, she's been a blessing, and we'll get into that in other videos. But yeah, so I committed to 6 months of therapy, and I'm don't get me wrong, I'm still in therapy. I'm gonna keep moving, even though we're in the 6th month. I'm gonna continue because it has truly changed my life. But from January 1st to today's date is January 12th. When I'm recording this, excuse me, I have not missed a week of therapy, and I feel it. I love it. I'm telling you, if you've never done therapy, I suggest you at least try it. And what's the worst that can happen? And that's what I told myself back then. What's the worst that can happen, Carnessa? You isolate yourself, you block out everything. Don't fall into temptation, don't fall into vices, don't numb yourself, but you actually commit. What's the worst that can happen? You get healed, you get free, you change your life, you get on the right track with God. You get closer to God. You hear his voice. Your gift of sight, spiritual sight, increases. Your whole life just changes. What's the worst that can happen, you know? So I love that I did therapy, you know, and goes back to the strategy that I had. Another thing was I was very careful about being in my cocoon, very careful about being isolated and in my monk mode. So I would only go out during certain times. And the good thing was we were in the winter, so I went back to wearing a mask. I was totally covered. I would have a hat down, like a bucket hat down, hood on, scarf. I mean, I was like I was a celebrity. And I was strategic about the times that I would go out and where I would go, because I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to take in any other energy or any influence. And I canceled. I'm so sorry to people if you watch this. I'm sorry that I canceled during that time performances that I had been booked for. And I hate that because, it goes back to people pleasing. I'm going to look a certain way. I'm going to look flaky, da 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 da. But I had to do it. I really had to do it because I didn't want to be giving out anything. I didn't want to give out any energy at that time unless I absolutely had to do it. So I canceled everything but the talent show. First I told Red Rod I was going to do that, but then I thought, no, it's our 8th year. It's something that they count on me and him hosting, not just him. So, and therapy started at a great time to where I had about a month and a half to kind of get myself together. So I'm like, at least, it'll just be that one night I can show up, do my thing. But my healing ended up just my healing started just happening rapidly, more quicker than what I thought. So I actually felt really good at the talent show, but that's just a side note. Oh, and the other good thing that I'm very proud of, that I was already 2.5 years celibate. So I was already saving myself and made a commitment to God that I would save myself. So that was one big hurdle, because that's something that'll take your girl down. Okay. You talking about unstable. That's sex. You throw sex in the mix and feelings and love and emotion. That'll really mess you up. So I couldn't imagine where I would have been mentally had I been giving myself out in that way. So I was already 2.5 years celibate, and so I just continued to do that. Now, your girl was tempted, because I'm telling you, this was my normal routine, my normal cycle. Something I go into, something happens, or I make the bad decisions. I do, I get down on myself, that cycle. And you use outside influences to numb your pain. And I didn't want to do that anymore. So I continued to be celibate. So going back to, like, one of my prayers was when I did go out into the world, because it was very seldom that I would be out and about. I asked God that to help me be hidden in plain sight. So even if I seen people that I know, they wouldn't see me. Just make it that way, Lord. Just please, while I'm in this, it don't have to be forever, but while I'm in these delicate, very fragile state, let me be hidden in plain sight. And didn't he do it? Because it was so funny, because once I started to really come out, and so many people, girl, where you been? Where you been? I had people asking me like, where you been? You still live in Michigan City? Part of the reason was because God gave me that strategy, and he helped me along the way. And I would literally, I'll never tell you who, but I would literally see people that I know out in public. Of course, I got to go to the grocery store. I got to do my laundry. I got to, make errands. But he would literally, I would be shopping, and I'll see somebody that I definitely don't want to get into inner energy exchange. And they wouldn't see me. It would be to where, like, they got their back turned and they're just turning as I'm going the other way, and they would miss me every time. And like I said, the more I got healed, the more I got comfortable with just being out, to where it was like I wouldn't even think about it. I'm like, oh, girl, you went out with your mask today. You went in disguise today. So it got better and better. Another part of my healing journey was, and my strategy was, to forgive. Forgive. Every time a dark thought would come, or anger would rise, resentment, disappointment, betrayal, and just replaying different events, and just anything negative, I would forgive myself. I would start to do negative self-talk. Oh, why did you do this? Why did you make that choice? Now everybody's laughing at you. Everybody's talking about you. Now you put yourself out there. You did this. You blah, 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 blah. And I had to forgive myself. So forgiveness was a big part of my journey, and it's continual. My healing journey is continual, but I'm getting better. And along the way, I'm getting tools from my therapist. Woo! I love my therapist. I love you. And I want to reiterate that I never thought I would be able to say the words, I'm glad things happen exactly how they happen. All the good, the bad, and the sure enough ugly and evil. I'm glad. I can't believe I can say that today, because it was the catalyst for my healing. It was the catalyst for me to go into my cocoon and really connect with God's voice. It was everything. And that scripture about everything, working for your good, I'm paraphrasing, all things working for your good, has become so real to me. It's become a foundational scripture for my life, that everything work out for my good. Lord, everything, really, everything. And yes, he revealed, yes, baby, everything works out for your good. Not just the blessings, but the things that appear to be the most heartbreaking, detrimental, lowest points in your life. It's all working if you work it. It's gonna be work now. It's gonna be work, especially if you never did it before. It's gonna be work, baby. But it's gonna work for your good. Woo! Lord have mercy. Y'all gonna have me running up and down my street. It's working. That's an encouraging word for today. All things are working for your good. All things. Every single thing. Even if it seems dark, even if you've been hurt, even if you don't feel good enough, you've made mistakes, plans didn't work out how you foreseen them working out, all things are working for your good. Best believe it, because I've lived it and I know it, and I trust him like never before, that all things are truly working out for my good and your good. Woo! Right now, we ain't gonna do this today. So I want to wrap this up. Moving forward, what can you expect from Carnessa the Poetess YouTube channel? Well, you can expect, I don't know if I'm gonna do worst date ever, because I don't want to put that energy out. I want best dates ever. I think I'm going to share things about me dating in 2024 and what that looks like for me now that I've been through therapy. It's a healed Carnessa that's dating now, so I date completely different now. So I will get into that. Definitely want to bring back the story times, because something is always happening to me. I don't know why. Weird people, crazy people are they just want to interact with me. So I got a lot of stories for y'all with that. So I'll definitely bring my story times back. Probably bougie on a budget. I'm gonna probably tweak pep talks. I definitely want to do a new series called Chosen Ones and delve into that. Like to accept my gift, my calling, me just being different and not being able to be in this box. It's going to relate to other chosen ones. So if that's something that piques your interest, that you're interested in, you might want to check that out. And then definitely we're going to hit up the mental health piece, mental health check-ins. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but it's just going to, and then I'm going to bring you some more poetry, performances, and just sharing things about poetry. So yeah, just looking forward, to what God is doing in my life and what he's doing with this channel. He's rebranding me, reinventing me. So if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, make sure you subscribe, and let's just see what it do. Okay, God is in control. All right. So, all right. Well, I don't know how to wrap it up. Oh, please remember. Oh yeah. For those of you that don't know, you might be new here. I call my subscribers my pineapples because I love pineapples, and you guys are my pineapple subscribers. Okay, so what's my outro? Outro. Be like a pineapple. And please remember, be like a pineapple. Stand tall and wear your crown. I love you so much. Ain't no little girl here, full grown woman, about to give you something. What you been wanting? Take me to the head, no chasing.